This is the Witching Hour magical podcast with your host, Ginger Quinlan.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Witching Hour magical podcast. My name's Ginger. I'm super excited to be here today. It is Thursday morning, June 16th. I can't believe we're halfway through June. And on the outside of a Sagittarius full moon, which means you got your warrior archer drawn, your bow ready to take on the world, but you're blocked. Are you feeling it? Are you feeling like things that you want to do just aren't happening in the timeline that you think it should happen? Are you feeling like you're letting go of certain parts of yourself that used to be the core of who you are? Are you feeling like you're just kind of outside of your body a lot and you can't totally function like you usually function? There's more of this kind of out of body, sleepy, dragon butt kind of, oh my God, I have so much to do today, and will I get it done? And chances are you won't, because the energies this week are so incredibly intense and so hitting us in the heart and in the guts and saying to us, what do you want to do now? Who do you want to be now? What is not working in your world? What is not feeding your soul? And who are you? Who are you? Those are the energies of this week and really the rest of June. And I'm sharing this because I intuitively feel this, but I'm also going through it myself. And this is part of why I called this the Witching Hour magical podcast, because to me, magic is connecting to all the beauty, all the little moments in your world, all the synchronicities, all of the coincidences, which I don't believe in coincidences, but I'll call them coincidences for right now, that occur that make us go, aha, aha, this is what I'm supposed to do. This is what I'm not supposed to do. This is the universe, God, higher power, spirit, saying, hey, pay attention to this. How does it make you feel? To me, that is the highest form of magic you can ever encounter. When you have that deep in your core aha moment from the littlest, tiniest, smallest, all those little itty bitty words that come up and smack you in the guts or hit you in the forehead or bonk you on your crown chakra and say, wake up, wake up. See what it is that's dragging you down. See what it is that's making you feel like you just cannot move forward anymore. With that being said, the energies are just so jacking with us right now. The witching hour is also that magical time between midnight and 4 a.m. when we have that interaction with our higher selves, with our guides, our angels, spirit, higher power, God, our higher self, and we wake up. Well, I think I have been awake every single night this week between 12 and 4, having multiple aha moments that just make me go, you couldn't have told me this during the day. But during the day, I was busy and tired, out of my body, walking around going, I feel stoned or drunk or like I took too much antihistamine. That foggy, cloudy feeling of, what the heck am I doing? And can I get it done? So between 12 and 4, I wake up. I've also had visitations from the other side so much this week. It's actually been pretty emotional because normally when I get visitations from the other side, from those people who've passed, it's for other people, not for me. But this week, my father actually was in my dreams twice telling me he was proud of me and that he loved me, which was huge for me because my father, I think, thought he would burst into flames if he ever said those words out loud. He was very kind of old school, and men don't say those things to their children. So my dad really never said, I love you. He also never said, I'm proud of you to me. But in my dreams, they were so explicit and so vivid. I was pretty sure I was having an awake dream. Have you ever had that before? It's pretty intense, where you feel like you're asleep, but everything is so vivid and colorful and clear, and it hits you in the heart that when you do totally come awake or come aware of what's going on, you're emotional. I was crying when I woke up both times from these dreams of my dad telling me he loved me and he was proud of me. And it's been interesting because I've been spending the last 2 months planting seeds, getting gardens going, trying to do flower farming in Georgia. And this week I could not because it's been a heat wave. And I am crazy sensitive to heat. Since I got my thyroid removed, I don't have a thermostat, so heat takes me out. So I've been walking around my house, cleaning up stuff, doing things I normally have not had time to do in my house, and feeling guilty because I wasn't working on my vegetables, my flowers, getting my flower farm business going. So I'm sure some of that energy transferred over to my nighttime encounters with my dad, who came to tell me not to worry, everything would be fine, the plants will do great. He said all of these things to me. He said, you're doing something amazing, so be patient with yourself. This is part of gardening. And I went, okay. And in my dream, I was a little girl with really white hair and little tiny scraggly braided pigtails because my mom always braided my skinny, thin hair. And I had giant blue eyes. My eyes were always bigger than my face. So I looked like a scraggly, skinny pigtail alien who was sitting there at my dad's feet while he was in his recliner, hearing, I'm proud of you. I love you. Don't give up. Keep going. So that woke me up. Then my mother, who I was not close to and actually did not speak to because she was just not a nice person on a lot of different levels, a narcissist to the core, and just abusive in every sense of the word, actually came to my dreams last night and woke me up. I knew I was awake because it startled me. And it scared me that I even had her sitting on the edge of my bed telling me, I'm sorry for the way I treated you, and I didn't do right by you. Those were her words. I had never heard my mother say that ever to me. My mom was more like mommy dearest, and then if you called her on it, she was like, I'm such a bad mother, blah, blah, blah. And you would have to feel sorry for her, except I stopped feeling sorry and started saying, this is toxic and it brings me down. So I cut off communication. To have her sitting on my bed, touching my leg, and I felt the touch of my leg, and I heard her voice and I smelled her. She always wore the cream oil of Olay, so she always smelled that way. And I smelled it, and I heard her voice. And when I opened my eyes, I saw her sitting plain as day on the side of my bed, touching my leg. And I totally recoiled and jumped out of bed and went, "What the hell?" And then I couldn't go back to sleep. That was at 12 o'clock last night. So, yeah, it's been a little weird having my parental figures coming to talk to me in my dreams, along with all the other dead people who usually show up in my life, letting me know that they're around. Like the people who owned the house I live in now with my husband, they owned this house for 50 years. And I usually see Mr. Parrot, that was his name, in the hallway. His bedroom was now my husband's room with all his stuff and clothes and dresser and all of that. And I don't like that room at all. I don't like going in there, even though Trevor's stuff is in there and it feels good. I like Trevor's stuff. I love Trevor. So when I go in there, I always get the heebie jeebies because I'm pretty sure Mr. Parrot died in that room. And yesterday was a big talk to dead people day. I was putting laundry away and I went into Trevor's room to put his basket of folded clothes on the bed, like I always do. And I saw a man standing in the bathroom. And I jumped back and I went, "Who are you?" And I went, "Oh, wait, it's Mr. Parrot," because I could smell him. He was also a gardener. And I always see him in coveralls and a hat. And he kind of smells like tobacco. So I went, "Oh, wait, hi, Mr. Parrot. I'm putting clothes away. Can you just go back to your realm?" And he left. And I went, "Oh, what is up with the other side? They are just all around me lately." And then this morning, I came into my room where I have a little day bed and I have my desk. And I used to do readings in here. And now I'm retired, so I don't do them for the public. I came in, I set up my computer to do this podcast, and I heard a woman's voice say, "I like the way you did my room." And I went, "What?" Because it took me off guard. But Mrs. Parrot has never left this house. She has always been around me. I feel her when I go in the kitchen. She's always behind me. She likes to see what I'm doing. If I'm gardening, I feel her in the front yard with me. And I know she is always around because it's her house. It's always been her house. And I always say to her when I do something different to it, "I really hope you like it, Mrs. Parrot. I'm trying to make it really beautiful. And I know you loved your house." So that happened this morning. And it's been just super active on the other side. Now, I don't know if any of you are experiencing dreams of your loved ones, dreams of past people that you've had in your life that you may have had some negative interactions with. I've also been having that, and kind of clearing up feelings, unsaid words, karma in my sleep. So you may be doing that too. You may be doing that in your waking hours. Many of us are cleaning up old stuff from the past 14 years. The energies of the planets are saying it's time to clean up your crap. Time to clean up the stuff that's left undone, unsaid, unfinished, that keeps you down and doesn't move you forward. So you could do this by cleaning out your stuff. You could do this by going through old pictures. You could be doing this by actually having a connection with somebody from your past coming through and saying, "Hey, I was a jerk to you, or you were a jerk to me. Let's heal that." Or you may have that situation happen through somebody else, but it's the same kind of situation that you may have had with this other person. You're just going through it with this new person to clean up the energy, to move you forward, to make you stronger, to make you go, I have done this pattern before so many times and I'm tired of doing it. Now I got to let it go and I'm working it out with this person. This person doesn't even know I'm working this out with them, but there it is. I am working it out with them. I'm standing up for me. I'm doing what's right for my life now. I'm speaking my boundaries. I'm living my boundaries and living in my power. And all of that is happening. So much energy hitting us all at one time to evolve, to wake up, to see what's going on in our own personal little lives and making our lives bigger and better and more appropriate for who we are now, where we're headed now. On the flip side of all that, yeah, there's more. There is more. Are you ready for more? We are being asked to look at who we really are now. Who do we want to be now? This has been a theme for myself and so many people that I know. Many of us are feeling and seeing all the world drama because it's in our faces all day long. If you don't watch the mainstream media and you're watching alternative news shows, you will know more of what's going on because the mainstream media is all pumping out to us the same stuff over and over and over again. But alternative media is telling us the truth and showing us what's really happening. And if you're watching that, I think sometimes that has a bigger effect on your soul and your energies than actually watching the mainstream media, because you'll get the same thing on every channel from mainstream, but alternative's going to hit you with the truth. And you may be going, oh my, I stock up on food. I need to get my money out of the bank. There's going to be World War III. Ukraine is the reason for all of it. It's all of this mess. And alternative will tell you different things that will enlighten you and show you what you might really need to be paying attention to. And then if you get some mainstream media in there, that will influence you also, because that's like brainwashing. So even like watching TV and seeing all that will influence your compassion, your emotions, your fear factors, your mind, and it will bring you down. It will weigh your energy down, and it'll make you really think about, what do I need to do for me right now? All of these things are going on, creating that kind of energy. So those of us that are very, 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 very sensitive, me, maybe you, are pretty much in our houses or barricading our lives up. So we're not feeling so much. We're kind of in a compassion type of drain right now, where usually sensitive people are very compassionate to other people, very empathic with other people, and it's extremely hard to do that right now, or you're extremely tired from doing that, so you're not. So you may find yourself going, wow, normally I am the one who does everything for everybody. I am the sounding board for people with problems. I am the person who reaches out and makes sure everybody is okay. Or I'm reaching out to old people to make sure they're cool and comfortable. Or I'm helping people who are broken. And you may find yourself saying or feeling like you just don't have any more to give. Moms may be feeling this hugely with their children, where the energies of the world are really impacting them in a massive way, because women are so open and compassionate and the healers of everybody normally, and that doesn't mean that men aren't, but women really gravitate towards that because we're taught that as children, to be there for everybody, be the healer, be the listener, be the fix-it person. Some men are that way too, and you may be feeling it also, men, but there is definitely this exhaustion that's happening for people who are the givers, who are the compassionate ones, who are the sensitive, empathic people. And you may be saying, I can't do that anymore, or the universe took you out of that role. Like me, I was taken out of my role as a psychic medium, where I talk to people all day long and do healing work, and I listen, and I'm compassionate, and I'm sharing messages from spirit and from the other side. And the universe said, no, baby psychic medium, we're going to take your voice away, and you're not going to do that, and we're going to mess with your energy so you can't do that. Because there is a huge part of me, and I'll be honest, every day I say, today I could be helping people by taking their calls, listening to their problems, reading their energy, sharing messages from spirit in the way I always did it. And now I'm not. And I look at it every single day and go, I could be going right back to it. And then I get a resounding no, because it's going to mess me up. And it's going to drain me, and it's going to make that exhaustion even more intense. And then I'm going to get hard on myself, and then I'm not going to follow through, and then I'm going to get sick. Do you hear the pattern? Are you feeling these things? That's why I'm sharing it. Because as much as we want everything to be so magical all the time in our lives, sometimes it gets interrupted to take us down into our souls, to create a rebirth energy where we look at every single little box of our lives and go, this is working, that's not working, this is sucking, this is amazing. That idea, I think I could do it. This idea, where did that come from? You may have all those things running through your mind, your heart, your soul, all through the rest of this month. And then all of a sudden, a flash of an insight will come through and show you exactly what you need to know and take you exactly where you need to be so you can resolve whatever it is that's weighing you down, making you question yourself, making you feel like, I just can't do that anymore, and this is what I'm going to do. So, yeah, pretty powerful, magical stuff happening underneath this hard energy that's saying, I'm going to elevate you up to a new place, but to get to that new place, you got to let go of all the old parts of who you were. And I'll just say right here, it is the hardest thing to do when you are used to getting up every day, going into your office, getting on the phone, or doing a little mini digital reading, and you're not doing it anymore. It's weird. It's like, even coming in here to sit at my desk to record this podcast, I was like, I should do a reading right now. That's really why I'm in here. And I went, no, I'm doing something new and different and awesome, and I love doing it, and stick with that. That's the way to share with the world. That's the way to open your soul. That's the way to heal. So it's a new vibe. It's a new day. It's a new energy. And I'm trying to live my best life, even in the back of my head, even though in the back of my head I have this little voice going, you should be doing readings today. You could be doing that. No, not doing that. So, and I'll share this part too. I'm trying to do the flower farming thing where I'm growing cut flowers and selling them. And I've had 2 bouquet bars in my front yard, and I sold 4 bouquets. And then I gave away the rest to my neighbors, which was really cool. They love them. And I love just saying, here's a bouquet. I hope it makes you smile. But what I realized is I'm in Georgia and it's frickin' hot in the summer. So my new normal with no thyroid doesn't allow me to be in the heat. And what did I do? I sat in my front yard 2 different times when it was 80 degrees and suffered while I was trying to petal my flowers. And my flowers were wilting while I was out there. I'm like, oh, they don't like the heat either. So my flowers and I were on the same page both of those days. So I was watching YouTube this last week and I saw a bunch of videos on microgreens. I love, love, love microgreens. But when I grew them previously to doing flower farming, I apparently didn't do them right because I didn't have drainage holes in my trays. And my salad mixes that I was so proud of planting rotted and they were nasty. And my husband was like, honey, there's moldy stuff all over these. Like, microgreens, they're no fun. So I stopped. Well, I was scrolling through flower farming videos, which I do every single day so I can learn everything I can about this particular job. Microgreen videos started popping up and I love to learn. I am like a how-to freak, honestly. So I started watching the microgreen videos and realized what I was doing wrong. And while I was watching them, I kept looking at my grow room that I have in my great big, huge craft room in the middle of my house, where I started all my flower farm seeds. It was full of flowers. Well, now I'm in this in between time that's really crazy, crazy hot. 107 heat index yesterday, 105 delightful heat index today. And I'm sitting in my chair watching these videos, looking over at my microgreen potential grow room and thinking, I can grow these in my house. I don't have to be out in 105 degrees. I have all the trays, all the lights, all the shelving, all everything. I even have the seeds. Why am I not doing this? I could do this. So I am. And that was an aha moment for me on Monday. I kind of thought about it the week before, but Monday was the day when I watched all my YouTube videos and just went, I'm doing it. So I rearranged my grow room yesterday, even though it was crazy hot in my house and it was super uncomfortable. I was driven to create a new space for a new adventure that I can do without fighting this new normal that I have going on now. You may be having the same thing happening where you have to look at what is it I am capable of doing? What is it that makes me smile? And what is it that's going to take me to a new level of joy, happiness, contentment, and prosperity to move myself forward? So maybe if you take a moment right now and just, unless you're driving, don't do this because, yeah, uh, just close your eyes for a minute and take a nice deep breath in through your nose. Blow it out your mouth. This is called circular breathing. It just kind of clears your head and opens your energy. And put your hand on your heart center, your heart chakra. Take another deep breath in through your nose, out through your mouth. Blow it out hard. And while you have your hand on your heart center, ask your higher self, what am I doing that is not for my highest good right now? What am I not doing right now in my life that is for my highest good, my highest contentment, my highest joy? What am I not doing? And what is your first thought or feeling? Where did your mind and your heart take you? Pay attention to that. Now, let's do it again. Take a deep breath in through your nose, out through your mouth. Put your right hand over your heart center and ask your higher self, what is it that's going to move me into being this new person or into this new energy? What is it that's going to take me into being this new person or this new energy? And what is your first thought, first feeling? And it could be a weird one. You could be going, what? No, not that. And actually, it probably could be that, only you're going to tweak it and make it whatever works for you. Or you may not be ready to do that yet. But that is how you can ask your higher self, your soul, your guts, and your mind what it is you need to pay attention to. Now, if you're really busy and you're listening to this and you didn't really have a chance to just sit with yourself and get a good answer, I like to do this particular exercise at night, right before I go to sleep. And the reason is I usually dream about it later and I get like advice from my guides and my angels, God, spirit, higher power. I get like this enlightenment session. If it's something big that comes through, sometimes I'll ask that question and I'll get, just go to sleep, you're tired. Or I don't really feel like knowing the answer to that right now. So when you do this, just make sure you're in a good space. You could do this while you're meditating. It will help you kind of put those things that are getting in your way or making you not feel good or making you feel not good about yourself, which is awful. We all know what that feels like. Or making you doubt what you're doing or making you feel this exhaustion, this emotional, physical, energetic exhaustion. What is draining you? Pay attention to that because all of the rest of this month is about coming in to a brand new you. Yay! How exciting is that? I think it's super exciting. I truly believe that recreating yourself to become the person who feels joy, who feels contentment, who feels like you're doing exactly what you're supposed to be doing, even though it might be this kind of shaky gray area when you start. As you go along, you're going to fine tune it. You're going to see what's working for you. You're going to see, oh, that's why Spirit, God, higher power, my soul, my body said, no, you're done with that. You have to go do something else now to become a brand new you. So honor that brand new you. Pay attention to your dreams all through June. If the other side is coming to visit you and talking to you, they're cheering you on or they're giving you warnings about what you might not want to do, pay attention to that. It's very important to pay attention to these magical, mystical, amazing interactions that are coming up for you constantly during this month. You may even want to write it down. I write mine down, especially when they're big, like my dad and my mom coming to visit me, like Mrs. Parrot saying, I'm liking what you're doing to my house. And Mr. Parrot showing up in my husband's bedroom and just kind of standing there like, I'm seeing what you're doing. All of those to me were like affirmations of the other side paying attention, interacting, making sure that I know that they know what I'm working on. So, with that being said, I want to share with you a new feature that I'm going to be doing on this podcast every single week. I used to do this on YouTube before I totally lost my voice. I used to do this every day for people. So I asked Spirit, God, higher power, would it be okay if I shared a message from you once in my podcast to the people? And I didn't get an answer. So I've asked every day this week, is it okay if I go ahead and pull a tarot card and share a message and a feeling with my people who are listening to the podcast? And I heard yes. Yes. I heard it yesterday and I heard it today. So that is what I'm going to do. I'm shuffling my cards right now. I want to do this fresh for you. And tarot is basically take what you need and leave the rest. It may not fit for you, but it absolutely might fit for you. So I'm asking my cards, what do the people on the planet need to know right now to help them become their new selves? That's a pretty big question. Oh, I had 2 cards come out. All right. So the first one I got was the Devil reversed. The Devil reversed is not a bad thing, actually. This talks about, what are you addicted to? What is it that gives you that rush, that brings you down, that is an addiction, that's going to keep you stuck and make you feel like you are tied to it, bound to it, you can't get past it? What is that? So I pulled the Devil card reversed. And the Devil card reversed talks about making sure that you look at what it is that you're addicted to. What is it that makes you feel so bound to it, so tied to a pattern, a person, a thing, that you can't see beyond it? You feel like you have to do it every single day, every single day. What is it that gives you that rush or brings you down or makes you feel stuck that you are tied to? This is the Devil reversed. It's time to look at it and say, that's enough. That is enough. I am done being that person who's so tied to it, so exhausted with it, so frustrated with it, so anxiety ridden with it. I have to conquer it. I have to move past it. I have to unchain the bonds that keep you in a pattern or an addiction or a situation that is making you feel so heavy, so powerless, so tied to material things or expectations that you cannot get out of it. And then I got the 5 of discs upright. This is everybody being worried about money. I wonder why. Because the economy sucks. Because we just keep getting more things put on top of us. So the 5 of discs says, you're trying to balance your money. You're trying to balance your work. Do not let the devil, reversed, take you into things that will keep you stuck and bound to them to the point that you cannot get out of it. Well, I feel like these cards are talking to me. in a very specific way, and I think it could apply to all of you too, because we're all in this energy of releasing what's not working, worrying about what we're going to do with our future. If you're changing jobs, I'm sure that worry is right there. If your job isn't covering your bills, that worry is there. If you're seeing yourself pay $5 a gallon, $7 a gallon, $10 a gallon, that worry is there. So all of us are looking at, what can we do differently to make more money, to survive what the planet's doing, to be in a better space. So I pulled a 3rd card because I wanted clarification that this just wasn't for me, but for everybody. And I got the 5 of Wands. So 5 of Wands tells me this is reaching for a higher vibration, reaching for a higher way of being, reaching for a higher way of treating yourself in a better, responsible, compassionate way for your own beautiful energy to move you in to either a higher purpose or a higher way of being in the world, or just a better energy that you can deal with. And it's also spirit giving you that information. So just like we did the heart on the hand on the heart chakra, excuse me, this talks about absolutely striving to get to a higher place by doing higher work, honoring yourself, honoring who you are, becoming the best that you can be. And I'm going to pull one more card. Don't get stuck leaping into things that you're not ready to leap into yet. I got the 7 of Wands. This is taking a risk, jumping into something really quickly, and not quite knowing what you're jumping into. So again, and it came up and I set it down right on top of the devil, which means be careful that you're not jumping into something that takes you backwards instead of forwards. You want to leap forward if you're leaping. Like for me, this card would be leaping right back into doing readings for everybody all day long and not being able to handle the energies, and it would leap me right back into the devil reversed, where it was not in my best interest to do that for myself. So this is taking your energy and defining what it is you want to leap into and take a risk in, and knowing that spirit is holding you and guiding you into it. All right, so that is some amazing messages from spirit, and I hope it resonates to you, and I hope you like this show today. It was some heavy stuff to talk about, but there is so much heaviness going on in the world. I think the way to heal it and define it and really clarify what we need to do to move ourselves forward as a collective on this planet is to first make sure that we're taking good care of ourselves and honoring ourselves. Because if we don't do that, we can't do that for other people. We won't have any energy to do that. So this entire month is all about honoring who you are, honoring your energy, putting up boundaries, really checking in with your soul and seeing what's weighing you down, what's keeping you stuck, what's keeping you from moving forward. And then take that 7 of Wands leap to jump into those things that are calling you and saying, come on, come do that. And if nothing is really calling you right now, don't worry about it. It will show up. This month is all about it showing up. I hope you enjoyed this podcast, and I really appreciate all of you who gave me so much feedback from my first podcast and made me feel so much love and appreciation from all of you. Words can't even really express how much that meant to me. It actually made me cry because it's like, yes, this is what I'm supposed to be doing now. So if you'd like to know more about me, you can check me out at Witching Hour Hats and Gifts. That is my creative website that I have all my handmade goods and items on. I make handmade bath salts and body products. I make perfume roll-ons, and I make witch hats, steampunk hats, gothic hats, costumes, wedding hats and crowns, and I share my podcast on that website also. I also have a candle magic subscription box coming out. I'm still kind of tweaking it and getting ready to put it out for all of you to subscribe to. Right now, the link is not working on purpose because I'm not quite ready to put it out there in the world, but it is an intention box filled with the tools and the guidance that you need to create your own magical energy in your life. So in that box, you'll get a taper candle with herbs, a magically blended oil that I make, a crystal, instructions, and whatever else I feel like you might need or want to coordinate with the energy of the month. And I do it monthly to resonate with the energies that are happening for that month. So the first box will come out between the 1st and the 10th of July, and that will be on my Witching Hour Hats and Gifts website. You can also check me out on Facebook at Witching Hour Hats and Gifts, and come visit our magical auction market at Witching Hour Magical Market on Facebook, where we have weekly auctions from Wednesday to Sunday. I am joined by some fabulous vendors and amazing artists that sell all their goods on Facebook. So check us out. And thank you to James Cummings, who does my intro. He's a voiceover artist, and you can check him out at James Cummings Voiceover. He does incredible work. So thank you so much for listening. I am sending giant hugs out to you and wishing you a magical weekend and brightest blessings for this full moon. Take care. I'll see you next week.